Thank everyone for joining this session. So we'll just start. I'll share my screen. Just give me a second. Right. So my name is Sohail Sayed. I am the founder owner of Inception Solutions. So let us look at what is the agenda for today. So this is the agenda for today. But before we start, I would also like to, you know, and mention that we also have Rohan Bichpriya, who's the regional head of Sophos, who's joined us. Right. Okay, so what is the agenda today? We are just going to cover this. I'm going to cover introduction to Sophos Firewall, key features and benefits, and then from then on, our technical lead Akmal will take you through the firewall. He will show you the console and setting up and all the policies, etc. So let me start with this. So let us talk about what are the most recent cyber attacks. Recently, I think July 27, that is almost 2 days back, pro-Ukrainian hackers claim attack on Russian cyber company. Casper Network, most of you would know what is Casper. Casper Network confirmed security breach on July 24. Gemini cryptocurrency reports data breach July 24. This everybody knows. CrowdStrike IT outage affected about 85 million Windows devices. India's biggest crypto exchange, WazirX, hacked, loses nearly half its reserves. This is again in sometime in June, July. Avanti, United Health Group lost about data of their patients, and they took about 2 months to recover the entire data they have on all their patients. AT&T data breach. So this goes on and on. These are some few examples I have given you, and these are kind of hacks happening. So the threats, the hackers are becoming more intelligent, and threats are real. So what happens? I mean, all these companies, they definitely have some kind of security devices which they have installed on their infrastructure. So what is the top problems with network security? Now let's look at this slide where we are describing what are the actual issues which we are facing today. Too many products. This is a prime concern for most of the companies, because the companies deployed a firewall which is of a different brand, and the endpoint security which is on a different brand, the email security is a different brand. Sometimes the firewall provider does not have an endpoint security, or they might not have this kind of which offerings. So it's a mix and match which the company is using, and whenever, because there's too many products, it's very difficult for a IT manager to actually go to each console and check. Those kind of issues are there, which a lot of IT managers are facing, which we found through different surveys. And because of this, what happens is that and to add to this, there's a complexity of remote workers, offices, devices. So it becomes more complex, and that is why performance versus protection is another area. So today, when you're seeing that there are too many products, there is a lack of having a proper telemetry of what is happening, what is the attack about, and all that. Whereas the other challenge which we are facing today is performance versus protection. Now, if let's take for example, there is a company who's not implemented maybe intrusion preventions, because when they implement intrusion prevention, what happens is there is a slack, there is a delay, network accessibility becomes a problem, because the performance of the firewall is another question. Those kind of, so we can't have both. These are real issues which I am sharing with you. Then lack of visibility and no action when there's a threat. I just mentioned the second point over here, which leads to the fourth point, where there's a lack of visibility, the threat, where the threat is coming from, and you don't have the single point of view where you can actually find the threat, and there's no automated response to it, because of which it is very difficult for a security engineer or security manager to actually take action immediately. And obviously networking products are evolving, and they have become too much complex. So it will not be wrong if we say that cybersecurity is so complex, so difficult, and moves so fast that most organizations simply can't manage it effectively. So Sophos has, their value proposition actually tries to address this particular issue. So Sophos has a full suite of products, uniquely integrated. Okay, so may it be a firewall or a switch, Let's take about a Wi-Fi access points, or you have to talking about smaller, locations where you need to have your remote office where you can have a red device. So for ZTNA and the products which I've not mentioned here, maybe in the endpoint there is your 6A, which is your Intercept X Advanced, and XDR, MDR. So all these kind of products from a single vendor, which helps you with best protection and performance at every price. Now, what actually I mean by that is that even if you take a very smaller device, which is like Sophos XGS 87, or you're taking a very high end edge device, the protection remains the same, and the performance also is as good based on the devices, which will come to later. Unmatched visibility, because we can see all this in a particular one single uh, console, okay, which is Sophos Central, and protection and response. So the protection as well as the response we're talking about. So that is what Sophos offers, and making complex network management easy. Moving to the next slide, these are the networking products of Sophos, where we have this firewall over here, switch. I talked about this SD RAID device, which we can install at a remote location when the number of users are less. Then there is Sophos Wireless and ZTNA. So today we are talking about Sophos Firewall. So let me give you a brief about. This is what the Sophos console looks like. Okay, so it's a full next-gen firewall protection, includes all the modern protection technology and organizational needs. So what is important, like there's a lot of encrypted traffic, so TLS inspection, intrusion prevention, web and application control, zero-day threat. How this happens, what happens, Akmal will take you through that. Okay, with machine learning, file analysis, and dynamic sandboxing. That's what is for your zero-day threat protection, where a new threat comes up or new vulnerability comes up. So what does the security provider do? It analyzes that particular file in their sandbox environment and checks the exploit, whether it's a malicious file or not, and takes action accordingly. So that's about a full next generation firewall protection. Visibility and insights includes a rich traffic light style dashboard. If you see the dashboard on the left hand side, okay, I'll go in detail on that as well, and includes free reporting on box across the entire network thanks to Sophos Central reporting. Sophos Central Management manages all firewalls from Sophos Central, group management capabilities, and central orchestration. So that's how it makes it easy. Automatic response to threats, synchronized security through synchronized security and active threat response. Now, I don't know whether you're aware of synchronized security. I'll come to that in the next slide. But basically, it's like if there are different products of Sophos, the security, they exchange the information with each other, and the threats can be contained, easily enabling users to work from anywhere by the integrated ZTNA, easy remote access VPN, and support for Sophos SASE services such as DNS protection. The most powerful protection and performance, dual process architecture. We're now talking about the hardware. No need to compromise on protection for performance. We talked about, right, the, whether how much protection and what performance depends on the size and all that. And single management console. So this is how the console looks like. If you see, there is this 52 connected threats and systems at risk. It shows unknown apps. It shows risky downloads. It shows risky users, advanced threats, which is blocked, encrypted traffic. These are risky apps, which is showing objectionable websites, and the intrusion attacks. So this is how the console looks like, and that's why we said that unmatched visibility and easy management. So a little bit more on synchronized security. So whether the threat is first detected by the firewall or the endpoint, this is when you have Sophos Intercept X as well as Sophos Firewall, or Sophos ZTNA products like that installed in your organization. What happens is that these work in synchronized manner. That means that if they have any kind of threat, they share it with each other. Thereby, this data can be pushed to something like, if there is a MDR, managed response, or maybe XDR, right? Or if you have your own center where you are analyzing your security, so these kind of information, threats, doubtful files and all that can be shared over there, and an action can be initiated. Now, automated response, the firewall, wireless access points, and ZTNA all automatically respond to compromised host by limiting access according to policy. So the first thing happens is that if there is any kind of a compromised host, or if there's any laptop, desktop, anything which is affected, right? So that the access to that particular device is limited. And it's just more than just threat response. Synchronized security is also used between endpoint and firewall to share important information about unknown applications for applications control and routing. So this is all about synchronous security. It's a beautiful feature which which will help you, identify threats faster, take action faster, okay, and thereby protect your devices and protect your network from unidentified threats. Now, how can we deploy this? We can deploy it through the appliances which comes with from Sophos XGS series hardware appliances. There, you can also install the firewall on a virtual or software appliance. Like I mean, what in a physical server, if they have the system configuration as required, or if it's a virtual machine, a VM also, as per the requirement is okay, it can be installed, or you can install in public cloud like AWS or Azure. You can protect your cloud infra also through Sophos Firewall. It can be installed on the your own cloud service provider as well. Any questions? We can take the questions provided we have time. I mean, definitely we have set aside a time for question and answers after Akmal's demonstration. So please, you can put the questions on the chat box, or please jot it down. If you want to ask it, you can ask after the session. So coming to the hardware part of it, you all of you must be aware that Sophos earlier it was XG, now it is XGS. Now the reason for that is basically it is jotted down in this particular slide. Basically what happens is that we talked about we need high performance. If you're talking about high performance, you need a robust hardware, a robust processor which will process and scan the packets which are coming in. So if you see on the left hand side, we are talking about if there's the office of one to campus edge. Sophos appliances offer powerful protection and no compromise performance to scale for network of all sizes. Obviously, if you have a 20 user, 50 users, or 1000 users, or 2000, the different appliances available for that. But more importantly, they have a dual process architecture. So what happens here is that it with a dual process architecture, it has a high performance CPU with a programmable extreme floor processor for hardware acceleration. So common issues which we face is that sometimes there is a firewall capacity is increasing, right? And then you understand that okay, now some suddenly there is a lag. So in here what happens is with XGS, uh, there is hardware acceleration, so it takes that kind of more load, and the performance is not affected, of course to a limit, but yes, that's what. So powered by extreme, so puts trusted traffic and application on the fast path. So initially it's like then the packets are coming in, it's going into a scan mode, and then it will go into the IPsec and all that. So it used to take a lot of time. So there is now extreme, because of extreme it goes into the fast path to reduce latency and improve overall performance in every new software release. Thirdly, the hardware was, the kind of port density has been increased, so that a wide range of built-in and add-on connectivity options provide the flexibility to adapt to infrastructure changes. And not only that, then from redundant power options to keep the lights on, a second SSD is also installed on high-end models, or fallback connectivity like an active passive or active also can be configured. So I was talking about this leading fast path acceleration. This is policy-based traffic selection with hardware acceleration. So as per the traffic coming in, as the traffic increases, it was moved on to fast path. Depends on the size, right, of the traffic, what percentage it is increasing. So it's an intelligent system. Leading TLS inspection, higher performance TLS inspection with TLS 1.3 and unmatched intelligence and visibility. Leading zero-day threat protection. So everybody is aware that Sophos is amongst the leader in Gartner quadrant. It offering the best security. Now these are the appliances. If you look at a SMB and a branch office, we have desktop hardware appliances where we have XGS 87, 87W. W is mainly for wireless, 107, 107W, and then we have 116, 116W, 126, 136, and both all these are available with the Wi-Fi mode enabled. And distributed edge where these are rack mount 2100, 2300 up to 4500, and these are the higher one, the enterprise and campus edge. Now Sophos Firewall also acts as a ZTNA gateway. ZTNA is nothing but zero trust network access, right? So if you are you have to buy a different licenses for that, but for the endpoint, but the firewall will act as a ZTNA gateway. Okay. And this is one of the best features which I was talking about. Sophos Central Cloud Management for all your Sophos products. So be it your switch, or be it your access point or firewall, or your, if a firewall is installed on a hyper VM or any other device, which it can be accessed, it can be controlled and managed through the Sophos Central. Now coming to the licensing, so if you look at uh, the subscriptions, we have extreme protection and standard protection. Now what does extreme protection offer you? Extreme protection will offer you your basic license, that is your stateful firewall, networking and SD-WAN capabilities, wireless and VPN. And it also provides you network protection, which is extreme TLS, DPI, deep packet inspection, IPS, ATP, your security heartbeat, SG-RAD management, right? Then web protection, zero-day protection, central orchestration, and enhanced support. And if you just take standard protection, then you will have these three options available: base license, network protection, and web protection. And all these are also available a la carte. That means that you can just go for network protection, or you can just go for, let's say, web protection. Additional you want, let's say you want all this and you want additional something like, you want Sophos Central Reporting Advanced. Okay, so what happens is that you want the report to be stored for a longer term, longer storage, then you can add that. If you have an additional device, you can take enhanced plus support upgrade. You email protection, of course, is there, but there is a different license for email protection. So these are the options, subscriptions available. Now this is my last slide, and here we're talking about what Inception Solutions offerings. So if you see what we do, okay, we are a Sophos Silver partner, and that we have a trained and enabled sales and technical team. And last 12 years we've been in the market, so we have good experience of firewalls in security products. We have deployed, there are a lot of customers where we have worked on, and we give you remote and on-premise support from this technical expertise, which we have technical people who would help you in each and every thing, implementation, right from implementation to you want to change policies in there was some issue which we have, we'll help you raise ticket with Sophos. If something we can do on our own, we will help you on that. So that kind of support we offer mostly remotely. If required, there's a networking issue or something like that, and we need to be on premise, we have been with customers. And there are certain customers which I just comes to my mind that they had a issue where the even after having two different ISPs, they were not able to really uh, they were not able
Hello.
to really, hello.
Yeah, Mr. Swell. I'm
Yes.
Chavan. Ramesh Chavan calling from Autoline.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, we do, and my question is also to Rohan Vichukuria.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Rohan know very well our requirement as well.
Okay.
Actually, we are supposed to use Sophos products since 7 years by replacing of old good firewall.
Devices, yeah.
But we have struggling to configure HA mode at all location firewalls. What is the
Okay.
exact issue with this one device or other? something is defecting. So my team has made mistakes in configuration. What exactly is the reason?
Absolutely. See, actually, sir, I am not aware of the situation, but definitely we can call your team. My technical team can call your team, and they will be able to understand what is the exact problem. Okay. And based on if you're looking at HA, whether it's active or active passive, sir?
Active, active.
Active, right? Fine. So give us some time. We will somebody from our side will contact you, your team, and we know you. We've been providing services to you, so we'll be able to support you. Don't worry about that. In case required, we'll come
And
over there.
one of the issue is it भाऊसाहेब will elaborate detail. भाऊसाहेब काय प्रॉब्लेम होता तो की एका ठिकाणी मेल ऑटो मेल मिळत नव्हता आणि एका फायरवाला मिळत नाही ते सांगा बरं. तो काय इश्यू कशाचा प्रॉब्लेम मला वाटतं बॉक्सचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे.
Uh,
I think this problem is with related with the Sophos itself.
right, sir. Sir, what I'll do is the first time after this session gets over, na, I'll give you a
No,
call.
no, this is
I'll
no, no,
call
no,
Bausaib
no.
only.
Correct. So, सर
So
ये
Ramesh sir,
जीओएस की बात कर रहे हो नहीं 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 रोहन जी ये
Uh,
सेशन किया है ना तो ये देखिए ये बग्स है ये बिकॉज आपने तो सारे मॉडल्स दिया हम जी सीरीज की कौन से हम एक्स जी सीरीज की यूज कर रहे हैं आपकी ही सीरीज की यूज कर रहे हैं ये तो ये हम लोग कम से कम 3 महीने से फॉलो कर रहे हैं उसको तो दिस इज द गुड फोरम ना
Ramesh sir. So although we can take this separately as well, but are you facing the HA issue at each and every location or at a particular location?
not each and every location and out of one see for example one policy has been set to auto जो भी फिल्टरिंग हो रहा है वो मेल ऑटो मिलना चाहिए मुझे सारे लोकेशन की फायरवॉल से मेल शूट होता है मगर एक फायरवॉल है कि जहाँ से मेल नहीं मिल रहा है और
तो
ये
सर
कम
अगर
से
देखिए
कम
अगर
तीन
ये
महीने से
मैं
तीन
वही कह रहा
महीने
हूँ,
से इशू चल रहा है
हाँ तो लेट मी मेक यू सर क्लियर, अगर ये बग होता तो ये तो सारे जगह इशू आना था आपको. इट्स मे बी माइनर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इशू. सो अगर आपने कुछ टिकट रेज किया है तो जस्ट हेल्प मी विद द टिकट नंबर. आई विल मेक श्योर दैट somebody from L3 or L4 will take the case, and we'll take it separately as well, sir. So it's not the hardware issue. Otherwise it would have come up in each and every location. So we can see the configuration.
ओके रोहन सर मैं आपको टिकट नंबर शेयर करता हूँ कोई बात
Just
right, right.
send me the ticket number. Yeah,
यस यस
we'll take it separately.
यस
Yeah.
So I think this was my last slide actually. So I was just talking about Inception solutions. So we deal in all the products of Sophos: endpoint protection, network protection, data security and protection, and email security. And we should be able to support you on that, right? So with that, I end my session and I will hand it over to Akmal. This is my email ID and these are my phone numbers. If you have anything you want to have any questions, please take this down and send me a mail or you can call me anytime. Thank you so much. And Akmal, just take over. Akmal will now show you the console. And while you are asking this question, I also mentioned to Mausab, who had this question earlier, that the Sophos partner for you was different. So I saw that mail of Ramesh sir also. So we will talk to Rohan and work that out. Okay, sir.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
think your partner is different over here.
No,
We are
no,
not
no issues. No
providing.
issues.
But yeah, definitely we'll support you on that as well. Yeah. No
Yes,
issue
sir.
there.
Yes,
Whether
yes.
we are your partner or not. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Any
you.
other? Thanks, sir.
Thanks.
Any questions you can tell me now, sir. Any inputs you have, you can also share over here before we close. So yeah, I think there are no questions. There is a. So if there are no questions, then we can just disconnect. Ishrat, your phone. Please mute your phone, Ishrat.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one confusion.
Yes.
Currently, we are using Sophos product. It's UTM 9. Like the operating system is UTM 9, and our product is SG135.
Okay.
So I think it is end of life now. I think.
Right. Right. SG is old.
So
After
for
SG, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead. Continue.
for the next renewal, should I go with the new device as well, or like how do I proceed?
Okay. So you have XG, right? XG.
S for
So
Singapore.
SG is like after SG we had XG.
Yes.
After XG now it is come XGS.
Okay.
So based on requirement and all that. So but yes, you will have to move. Okay, to XGS. Reason being, even XG
Okay.
support is stopping on March. So
Okay.
I told you the reason why they moved from XG to XGS, obviously because of speed and all that which we need to deliver to customers in
Yes.
terms of scanning. So I would suggest that. So if you can give me your contacts or something like that, I will get in touch with you. My team will get in touch with you,
Sure.
and maybe
I'll.
we can offer you on that. So I have your contact. I think we have your details.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody
Yeah.
from our side will get in touch with you. But
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
definitely you should move to XGS
Yeah.
because March I think XG support is also expiring from there.
Currently, we are covered till I think next year, 25. We have, but we can continue with that as well. No, we can like renew the product.
For XGS,
No, no, no. Currently, we have
25
SG.
which month?
I have to check. Might be
Okay,
September or
let me
something.
also check. I'll just talk to you later. We'll
Yes.
understand that separately.
Okay.
Because based on how much this is there, we will talk to Sophos and work out something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, like, which product will be suitable for me? Currently, we are on SG135.
Okay.
So, XGS, which product?
Which how many users you have? That depends on the
Uh,
sizing we'll have to
Same,
do.
same, same, like 100 concurrent connections. The same which we have on SG135.
And what kind of users you have? We can discuss that also. I mean, how many? See, basically, I have a sizing sheet which I can share with you.
Okay.
Based on that sizing sheet, you can tell. I would be able to tell you whether you have to continue with
Okay.
XGS 135 or move to something else like
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine.
210 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But more मोटा मोटा आपका सही है. Then
हाँ,
हाँ,
सेम
same
टाइप का ही
firewall.
कनेक्शन है.
Mostly
सेम
same.
यूजर उल्टा कॉस्ट कटिंग में थोड़े लोग कम ही हो गए सर.
अच्छा हाँ, तो there should be not a issue. So we'll have see what SG used to cover, XGS covers more.
Okay.
Correct. So
Okay.
that way we'll have to do a little bit of work on that to
Okay.
understand exactly what bandwidth you all are using and all that. Based on that, we
Okay.
will suggest you.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. So if there's no other questions, shall we wrap it up, sir? Okay. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. Right. If there's any question, you can still mail to us or call me. Thanks a lot for joining. I'll just disconnect.